What's going on, guys? All right, so today we're gonna be fixing up the Jeep. The water pump completely went out. The fan was all wobbling and everything like that. So we decided to rip it all apart. All I gotta do now is come back in here. I already took all this off. It's pretty self-explanatory. This one just has a couple bolts and then those right there. We're also gonna be replacing the thermostat. And ours is actually a little bit different, but I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do this. So let's get started. Guess who just pulled in? Very first thing I need to do is just take a razor and I'm just gonna get off all the old gasket from the front of this. This is the actual part that we're gonna be replacing. This is the water pump for this engine. Now, as you can see, the fan itself, we haven't altered this in any way, but you can see, well, probably not, but there's wiggle in this versus the nice new one, well, to where there's absolutely nothing. Like, it doesn't move at all. And that's one reason why we knew that it was bad. While it was running, the fan was wobbling itself. So that was a little trippy. So very first thing I need to do is actually get out this plug right here off of the old one and swap it over to this. And then after that, I'm gonna take out the original studs for that pulley and put it into this. That way we can get it all lined up.
So all I did was take this little coolant neck off the existing water pump, the old one that broke. And we're gonna thread it onto the new one. Just put some sealant tape on the threads.
What I just did is I took the studs off the original one by just putting 2 bolts on it, tightening them down, and then backing this entire thing out. And what you want to do is you want to take the thinner shreds, the tighter ones, and that's what's actually going to thread into this. Now with these, we're just going to hit them with a little bit of blue thread locker, the removable one. Now I'm just going to take both the, or 2 of the original bolts that go onto the fan itself, and then I'm gonna tighten down the top one to the bottom one so that they tighten together. That way we can actually screw that thing down. Once your studs are on there, double check the clearance on the back so that it makes sure that it doesn't scrape a little bit. This one was scraping just a tad, so I backed it out just a little bit, and now we have no, doesn't rub, so now we're good to go on that.
So I didn't know if you could tell, but this water pump is brand new. We're gonna have to run to the store and get some heater hose. I think it's like 5/8. What I'm gonna do is, since my heater core kind of leaks sometimes, I'm just gonna bypass both of these and just run one hose from here all the way to the back there where the other one goes, and just totally bypass the heater core, and that way I don't have to get like a plastic fitting, because that's what happened last time. The plastic fitting blew out and all my coolant dipped and blew everywhere, and I almost fucked up my engine. Put the thermostat in, and you want to make sure that the little, what is this, like a breather hole temperature thing?
It's like a vent hole. I don't know the exact wording of it.
Right, so once you have it all that tightened, you're going to want to go ahead and hook up your lower radiator hose to the new water pump. And make sure your clamp is on the hose before you put the hose on. Now, when we pulled this off, we didn't see a power steering tensioner or anything, so you kind of have to put the belt onto the water pump pulley first and the power steering, and then the crankshaft kind of thing. Just kind of got to fiddle with it.
I'm not even sure how I just did that. So just do that, and yeah, you'll be fine.
Obviously the alternator has a tensioner, so you're good there. So once you have the pulley on, you can, if you're running the manual fan, you have to go ahead and get the manual fan. And so the fan hooks on in front of the pulley, and then the nuts hold the fan assembly on.
If anyone can explain why that's oblong and it's not all the same, like obviously it's weighted, but I can never understand why they did that.
Why there's 3 up top and 2 on the bottom.
Typical of us, we never install anything that's dirty, so Chelsea just cleaned this. We're gonna throw this on and get this ready to go. All right, so we are back from the store. We had to, dog won't come outside. We had to run to the store and grab some heater pipe, or heater tubing, whatever, you know what it is. Heater hose. Yeah, so we're actually going to bypass the heater core itself. We're just going to go from right here all the way back to the very back side of that, and then just a short one from there to there. So let's knock this out real quick. We'll put some fluid in it and get it started. Okay, so we ran into a little bit of a tough issue with the new pipe, running it all the way from there, bypassing the heater core, going straight up here to the front of the water pump. That one worked out fine, but using the same pipe to try and do this 90 here didn't work out, because every time that we tried to flex it, it just kinked. So we ended up using the old hose that came off of the heater core and put it onto here, and it seems to be just fine. Like, it's still pretty soft, not as soft as like a brand new one. Oh, Chelsea never took that off. But other than that, we should be set. So we're gonna fill this thing back up with fluid and get it started.
Tyler went to fill up the coolant yesterday, and it started leaking out from underneath the bottom bolt of the thermostat housing again. What we didn't do is put silicone RTV on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put some RTV on the thermostat itself, because I heard that it likes to slip down, and then I'll put sealant around the thermostat housing as well to make a nice fresh seal. So I just decided to change the oil as well. The oil filter is located down here. What you're gonna do is just put some oil on the ring here. What I like to do is take some old oil off the oil filter and then just lubricate that up, and then I'm just gonna toss it on. Now look how pretty it is. Now I went ahead and RTV'd around the edge of the inside of the thermostat and taped it off, and I'm gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes to an hour to kind of set in there to make sure it doesn't shift downwards like it did before.
Basically what we found out is a couple people, they actually put instant gasket around the thermostat housing on the gasket itself. So we put some gasket on the gasket so that it seals. We just threw it back on, and we're gonna test it out and fill it back up.
So we went ahead and just put a hose on the heater core just to loop it around so nothing gets in there, no spiders, no bugs, no anything unnecessary. We will be replacing the heater core eventually. I just don't need it right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
That only took us a little bit. So once we got the thermostat housing onto it with just a little bit of a gasket, the sealer on it, it actually sealed up just fine. The only problem that we actually had or ran into is all the way into the back where we rerouted the cable so it just loops itself, is we didn't tighten it down enough, but hit it with the impact, and that seemed to do it just fine. So that's actually gonna call it for tonight on this. Stay tuned for more stuff on the Miata. We do have some stuff coming in that we've really been looking forward to. If you guys have any comments, make sure to put them down below. Smash that like button as well. And if there's anything you guys want to see, just let us know.